Hello, this is Benisa Belaya reporting on Unit 4 for the week of weather observations from January 26th through January 30th, 2015, on the West Ridge at the student apartment complex at the UAF campus. The local time I took my observations was between 6 and 10 p.m. every day, and I got my National Weather Service observations for which to compare my personal station observations from the Fairbanks International Airport, PAFA. Here's the plot of my temperature measurements throughout the week. The National Weather Service observations show a cycle with temperatures trending higher towards the end of the week. The diurnal cycle looks spread out on the first day and becomes smaller on the second day. My personal station observations almost match with the National Weather Service observations. The temperature at the time I took the measurements did not exactly correspond with the minimum temperatures recorded by the National Weather Services because I took my observations in the evening where temperatures tend to rise. On the first day, January 26th, the air temperature was negative 36 degrees Fahrenheit and negative 37 degrees Celsius at the time of my observation, which was at 9:36 p.m. Alaska time. The max temperature was negative 44 degrees Fahrenheit and negative 42.2 degrees Celsius. The minimum temperature was negative 29.2 degrees Fahrenheit and negative 34 degrees Celsius in the last 24 hours. The barometric pressure was 1,023.6 millibars to 30.15 inches of mercury. The wind was at a Beaufort number of 1 and coming from the southeast about 148 degrees. This was indicated by me seeing my breath and watching which direction it blew. The sky cover was clear with patchy ice fog. On the second day, January 27th, the air temperature was negative 36 degrees and negative 38 degrees Celsius. At the time of my observation, which was at 11 o'clock p.m. Alaska time, the max temperature was negative 36 degrees Fahrenheit and negative 38 degrees Celsius. The minimum temperature was negative 29.2 degrees Fahrenheit, negative 34 degrees Celsius. The barometric pressure was 1,028 millibars to 30.28 inches of mercury. The wind was at a Beaufort number of 0, coming from the southeast at 148 degrees. The sky coverage was clear with patchy ice fog. On the third day, January 28th, the air temperature was negative 35 degrees Fahrenheit and negative 37 degrees Celsius. At the time of my observation, which was at about 8:15 p.m. The max temperature was negative 45 degrees Fahrenheit, negative 42.7 degrees Celsius, and the minimum temperature was negative 35.3 degrees Fahrenheit, negative 37.3 degrees Celsius, with a barometric pressure of 1,030.4 millibars and 30.35 inches of mercury. The wind was at a Beaufort number of 0, with coming from the southeast at about 148 degrees. The sky coverage was clear. On the fourth day, January 29th, the air temperature was at negative 38 degrees Fahrenheit, negative 39 degrees Celsius. At the time of my observation, it was at approximately 9:58 p.m. Alaska time. The maximum temperature was at negative 38.3 degrees Fahrenheit and negative 39 degrees Celsius. The minimum temperature was at negative 27.3 degrees Fahrenheit and negative 32.9 degrees Celsius. The barometric pressure was at 1,035.5 millibars and at 30.50 inches of mercury. The wind was at a Beaufort number of 1, coming from the southeast at about 148 degrees, with patchy ice fog. The sky coverage was clear. On the fifth day, January 30th, the air temperature was negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit and negative 30 degrees Celsius. At the time of my observation, it was 6:15 p.m. Alaska time. The maximum temperature was at negative 24.1 degrees Fahrenheit, negative 31.1 degrees Celsius, with the minimum temperatures were at negative 20.1 degrees Fahrenheit, negative 28.9 degrees Celsius. The barometric pressure read 1,040 millibars with 30.79 inches of mercury. The wind was at a Beaufort number of 1 with the compass direction of 148 degrees southeast. The sky coverage was partially cloudy with cirrocumulus clouds, and the sky cover was partial as well. Here we see the barometric pressure plot. The pressure shows that it was gradually rising. The personal station observation did not completely correlate with the National Weather Service's. On the first day it was at 1,023.6 millibars. The second day it went up to 1,028 millibars, 30.28 in inches of mercury. On the third day it went up to 1,030.4 millibars, 30.35 inches of mercury. On the fourth day it was 1,035.5 millibars and 30.5 inches of mercury. And on the fifth day it was 1,045 millibars with 30.79 inches of mercury. On January 26, 2015, here we have the TV weather map showing the surface weather conditions over the whole state of Alaska. We can see mild cloud coverage in the area of Fairbanks. There's a cold front and a warm front moving towards the southwest of Alaska as we see, and we also see some heavy fog in the Fairbanks interior of Alaska. On the next day, January 27th, 2015, we see that there's a cold and a warm front that has moved southeast, and we can see several high pressure systems in the Bering Sea, in the north of Alaska, and over the east in Canada, with low pressure systems moved way south of Alaska. There's also some snow that accumulated in the southwest towards the sea, and there's patchy fog in the interior of Alaska. On the third day, January 28, 2015, we see several high pressure systems, again with some rain, snow, and some snow showers in the south of Alaska, with some clouds starting to move in. The low pressure system stays in the same area as it was the day before. On the fourth day, January 29th, we see a high pressure system as well as some fog in the interior of Alaska Fairbanks, with a low pressure system moving in from Russia and another low pressure system moving further away from the southeast with some drizzle of snow and some fog. On the last day, January 30th, 2015, we can see some heavy clouds moving in from Russia and the Bering Sea, as well as a low pressure system from the same area. We can see a few high pressured systems scattered around Alaska, with snow moving in from the north, and even some freezing precipitation on the last day of my observations. Now we can observe on February 4th, 2015 at 8 a.m. Alaska time. We can take a look at some infrared images to see cloud coverage with that measure cloud heights and other temperatures. And here we have a water vapor image that shows what areas in Alaska there's high amounts of water vapor. And this particular water vapor image, you can see that there is some low amounts of water vapor in the Gulf of Alaska.